Whose life is this? Mine. What are you going to do with it? Live it by any means necessary. Welcome everyone to another episode of King Reflections. I'm Daniel Oliver, your host, graphic designer, personal trainer by trade, and studying to do my life coach course at the moment. And I'm here to empower you, to encourage you to take responsibility of your life, to bring true power and true breakthroughs in your life. As you can see, my introduction is still undergoing construction. It's still to be improved, but I'm trying my best to come up with something that's catchy and something that will actually really reflect my goals of this podcast. So today I'm actually going to talk about the concept of being awesome, or, you know, having a motto where you're encouraging yourself to be the best version of yourself. So for the past few months, I've been thinking of doing school group sessions with some of the grades. And I always have a problem with structuring my sessions in a sense sometimes. So I was there going, okay, to really encourage or really grasp these young teenagers, you know, attention, I wanted to, obviously you got to play some games, or you got to have some visual examples because they're very captured visually. So, or even something that they can repeat. So I'm going, there has to be some form of motto. And I got the motto from, so the motto that you just heard me say at the very start, the whose life is it anyway? Or sorry, whose life is this? And the audience is supposed to say mine as a response. And then the leader says, what are you going to do with it? And the audience is supposed to reply with, live it by any means necessary. And this is from Black Lightning, the TV show. And this is Jefferson Pierce's motto that he uses, because he's the principal of the school and he always encourages the kids to really reflect on their choices, and that their life is based on the choices that they make, and they have to really then draw attention to themselves, bring some self-awareness, and really make a decision of, you know, was the choice that I just made, was it the right one, or was it not the best one? And that it's still, you know, our own lives, that we are in full control of the way we respond to things or the way we react to things. So I just like going, you know what, I really would love to create a motto. And I'd sort of pushed it out of my mind for a bit, you know, thinking, you know what, it's just too much at the moment. I'll just eventually come back to it. And then I was talking to a friend yesterday, Ben, and he actually is a primary school teacher. And Ben was telling me about a story where he tried to get all the kids to do a piece of work, and they had to write down in their books, answer some questions to the best of their ability, and then do a little story at the end. But one child had finished quite exceptionally ahead of the other students. So he was like, come here, bring me your book. I want to see your answers. And they weren't obviously the most elaborated or best of answers. And he asked the student, do you think this is an okay standard, or, you know, being awesome? And the student was like, no. So he goes to the student and to the class, you know, wouldn't you rather be awesome? And everyone's just like, yeah, we want to be awesome. And he's like, would you rather be okay or be awesome? And they're like, we want to be awesome. So he's just like, well, it's really simple. And there's only 2 rules you have to follow. And they're like, oh yeah, tell me, let me know. Like, I want to know, I want to be awesome. Like, who doesn't want to be awesome? You know, especially nowadays, who doesn't want to be awesome? And he goes, number 1 rule is follow my instruction as the teacher. You know, I'm your teacher this year. So all you have to do is just follow my instructions, and you'll be on the path to being awesome. And, you know, and next year, the next teacher that you have, they will also lead you on the path to being awesome. That's rule number 1. And rule number 2 is try your best. That's all it is. 2 simple rules. Follow the teacher's instructions because they're the ones that are leading you or mentoring you into a better path. And try your best at the tasks that the teachers give to you. And, you know, I just like, you know what, you can actually apply that to every part of your life, even as an adult. And then he said, you know, the next day I put up, you know, be awesome on one of the walls in big, massive letters. And it was sort of like a motto that the kids could just reflect back on and go, you know what, am I being awesome? No, I think I can improve myself. And do the best that they can at that time. And I thought this is such a great thing to apply to all of our lives, and that I could use for these workshops within schools, that I can start with a motto, just like Jefferson Pierce's motto in Black Lightning. I could encourage the kids, trying or being the best that you can be and just being awesome, doing the best that you can. Everyone's best, so to speak, is going to be different to everyone else's. But as long as you're doing your best, that's all that really matters each day. So even if you have like a mental issue where you've got depression or anxiety and you can't really do a lot, like, and if you start comparing yourself to others where there's, look at others and go, man, they're doing so much. They're getting this done. They're getting this done. They're getting this done every day. They're just getting so much done. Just bring it back to your current state. Bring it back to what you can do. And if the best you can do is get up, have a shower, feed yourself, or go outside and just have some sun and then go back to bed, if that's all the best you can do, that is awesome enough. You've progressed. And you might find that once you have done, for example, just gotten up and gone for a shower, you're like, you know what? I feel a little bit better. I feel a bit clean. I can now go eat. And you go and eat and you feel, now I feel energized and a little bit refreshed. So now I can do some exercise, or I can go for a walk outside or something like that. And then you go for that walk in the sunshine, and you're looking at the leaves and you're like, the trees and the birds and stuff, and you're just admiring, the nature. Or if you want, listen to an audiobook or an album while you're doing the walk, and then come back home and go, you know what? I was able to go for a shower. I was able to have something to eat, and I was able to go outside and go for a walk to get some daily exercise in. I feel like now I can do some cleaning around the house, or I can do some work or catch up on emails or something. And, even if it's just one email that you reply to, like, that's exceptional in itself. If you're having, if you're struggling right now, especially during this lockdown, it is really hard to be motivated or, determined or disciplined to do something, because the lockdown has just completely knocked us off our normal lives. So it's very hard to maintain a disciplined or a routine sometimes. So even if you just focus on, I've always been trying my best to find 5 things a day that I can focus and try and do. And sometimes that is learn a bit of Portuguese and that one thing. And even if that, and sometimes my learning Portuguese is probably about 10 minutes. And I'm there going, I've done 10 minutes. I feel great. I feel like I've accomplished something today. I've learned just 1 or 2 words in, the sentence context. And I've adapted it to, my skills that I can learn a lot more next time. And I feel like now that, I should, if we have to remind ourselves, put up a poster, put up on a wall, or write it on your mirror in the bathroom, be awesome. Write something that will encourage you and be like, what am I going to be today? Am I going to be average okay? Your normal average okay? Or am I going to be awesome? It's really funny because I always write sometimes these superhero charts, and I'm like, okay, Superman, what is his characteristics? He's physically strong. He has a kind heart. He's super fast. And all these other super abilities that he has. But he always has compassion for human beings. So I'm like, I'm trying to catch all his traits in one. And I'm there going, I shouldn't be trying to focus my identity into being a superhero, because sometimes when we fall short of becoming doing marvelous things like saving the world or lifting heavy objects, we feel really discouraged. So I'm going, what is my identity found in? And, I'll do another episode on, identity. But my identity is a child of God. And a child of God, as I've always read and believed to be, is someone who does their best in everything that they do, and encourages others and loves others and is patient with others and compassionate towards others that might not be on the same level of, productivity or quickness or whatever, but is able to help them just rise up a little bit better than where they are at the current moment, if they're looking for that, or if they're reaching for that. If they're really just needing some encouragement or needing someone to believe in them, then I'm happy to reach out and be like, what, you've got this. I'm happy to sit here until you're actually able to do the thing that you really want to do. And that's what I feel a child of God is. Someone that is able to improve on themselves, to actually, keep a routine as best they can. Or, sometimes we do faults and we miss out on the routine, but we're able to, have that day off or 2 days off, even sometimes a week off, and just come back and go, all right, now I'm refreshed and focused. Let's get to work. And then help others that are also in a little bit of a rut. So I feel for even myself, I'd have like child of God and the characteristics I have, and just be like, you know what, I'm going to aim for that today. I'm going to aim to be a child of God today. And just having that visual, be awesome or be whatever you want it to be. So in my instance, child of God, just that constant reminder, it makes you become self-aware. It makes you reflect on yourself and look at your behavior and go, have I done the best that I could today? Am I being the best version of myself today? And then we were able to then, after self-awareness, being able to self-govern and go, you know what? I can do a little bit better. I'll change this a little bit today and I'll do something like this or change this, tweak this, and fix it up. Even just apologizing to someone that you might have, raised your voice at is a level up. So this visual, seeing it each day on your mirror, be awesome, brings you to self-awareness, some self-govern, and to reach the desired outcome of actually being that thing that you want to be. And just remember, your best version is going to be completely different to someone else's best version for that day. And your best version right at this moment, in the next moment, it might be completely different. Your best version today is going to be different tomorrow. Your best version of today is going to be different from what yesterday's best version was. Just focusing on the present and focusing on the now is what's going to get you through, and just being your best. So I just want to thank the conversation that I had with Ben yesterday that really sparked this thought, and know that I'm in the right direction of actually creating a motto for the workshops that I want to do for schools and for other workshops that I want to do for, groups that want to improve on their self-development or improve on themselves, and being able to now have a little bit of a structure or a motto so that they can reflect back on and they can look back to, and it's like their focus point. It's a point they can go, or a determined or a visual concept to bring their focus back to that point and go and question themselves and go, all right, am I being awesome? Am I being the best version that I can be? And then hopefully that will encourage them to go, you know what? And be honest and truthful with themselves, not have self-pity that they've fallen short, but a bit of conviction in themselves to go, you know what, I can do better and I will be better. And, putting on an attitude of, I can improve and I will improve. And hopefully they'll be able to then spread that to their friends and family and, help their friends and family to also improve in their parts of their lives. And that's the whole point of this brand of Xander King, is to help encourage people to improve on themselves, and then those people that have improved themselves can then encourage others to improve on themselves. So it's like a ripple effect or a domino effect. We want to get people onto the path or the wavelength of just improving themselves as best as they can. So whose life is this? This is your life. And what are you going to do with it? And I hope you live it by any means necessary, as best you can. So what are you going to do today to be awesome? Well, I hope you've learned something from this, and I hope you have a good day. King up.